First of all, the spiritual journey spans from the soles of the feet to the top of the head. That's it. Those are the parameters. We do not leave our physical body. We leave our physical consciousness. Vast difference. Okay. All of this in here is the physical consciousness. The spiritual consciousness, the higher planes, all reside from the third eye up to the top of the head. All the 22 microcosmic centers, we have 6 here in the body. There's 6 in Anda, 6 in Brahmanda, and there are 4 in the pure positive God worlds, Sat, Khand, and Up. But these microcosmic centers are all in, the higher planes are all in the gray and white matter up in the cranium. They are not outside the body. It's totally outside the physical consciousness, but not outside the body. So you've got to appreciate that distinction. Okay. The spiritual journey, therefore, being it's from the soles to the top of the head, the entire spiritual journey, from start to finish, is all below the eyes. Let's put a couple eyes up in here. Is below the eyes and above the eyes. That's the entire spiritual journey. From here down, this is the physical consciousness. The Anda starts right here at the third eye, the Tisra Til, the black dot, and goes up. But it does not bust through the crown chakra. That takes you into outside. It stays all within the cranium, right here. Okay. So the spiritual journey is below the eyes and above the eyes. The objective is to free soul's pure and divine consciousness from all lesser, impure states of consciousness, so as to ultimately realize the true divine self. So what I just said there was the purpose. You've got states of consciousness, and you've got consciousness itself. Now, we could go into a big wrap here, but the purpose is to free the consciousness from all states of consciousness. And this is another way of describing what I initially opened the satsang with on the mind and soul are trapped together. So consciousness is the white part. States of consciousness are the black part. And the whole objective is to separate our consciousness or our soul that's locked in the body from the mind, which is just all states of consciousness, zillions, trillions, quadrillions of states of consciousness. But that is the objective. This is what we're trying to do. Because our mind and soul are just locked together. The mind isn't going to give an inch. The mind's going to tell you you're a loser, you're a lowlife, you're a druggie, you're a sex fiend, you don't deserve the path, who do you think you are? All this negative, demeaning input and impressions. Why? Well, your mind is doing that, you see. Here your soul's beautiful and spotlessly white from God and divine through and through, and it's got the company of the mind. And the mind has overpowered your soul. And so this is the condition of the physical consciousness. This is why the physical consciousness is such a challenge, because the soul's not free. And you've got to understand that your soul is trapped in the body consciousness. That's what we call a jiva. The soul trapped in the body. You've heard this metaphor from many different writers, but it's a good one. It's like our soul body is a great big mirror. Beautiful, shiny, clean, spotless, unblemished mirror in Daswindwar. The soul comes out of the turrets of heaven and descends down to Daswindwar. Everything's good and fine until this point. But then the soul is made to devolve and descend lower into the worlds, and it comes into Tricuti. This is the soul's descent now. The spiritual master path is about the soul's ascent. But initially, just thousands of yugas ago, when the soul was descending from Satlak and it got down here and went into Tricuti, it had to take the company of the mind, the universal mind. And it picks up these trillions and zillions, uncountable a number of states of consciousness are now attached to this beautiful mirror as it descended. And now the mind comes in there and just puts a big wrap around it with states of consciousness. And then, of course, the soul and the universal mind have to descend further and pick up an astral mind. And then, similarly, the soul descends farther, enters the physical universe and picks up a pinda mind, an ego, and a physical body. And now the luster of this mirror is completely destroyed. So the metaphor is you take the mirror and you throw it on the tile floor and smash the whole thing to bits and pieces. And so you've got all of these broken pieces of glass. It just a mess. My mirror's broken. Well, that's exactly what's happened. The mirror is consciousness, pure, unblemished. But as soon as the mirror is broken, or the descent into Tricuti in the lower planes, the mirror gets broken, and then every one of these little shreds of the mirror, some you can hardly even see, some are a little bigger, but I can't give you a number. It's the largest number you can think of, and then times the power of 10. All these little spots here now turn into states of consciousness. A state of consciousness is a part of consciousness, a piece broken off of the mirror. So here's consciousness, and if we only had to deal with consciousness, we'd be home free. But sadly, that's not the case, because our mirror or our soul has to descend into the lower worlds, and it picks up the three minds, the three egos, the three gunas, the five passions, all the desires, and the states of consciousness, and one quickly descends right into the gutter of life, which is the Pinda universe. Physical body in the Pinda universe. As beautiful as the earth world is, it's a garbage dump. Literally, it's a garbage dump. And of course, I'm comparing it to all your higher bodies, all the higher planes, the divinity of your soul. Okay, so these are all states of consciousness. The mirror in its whole is consciousness. Now, the objective is to get rid of all these states of consciousness. Start piecing this mirror back together. And that's what starts happening as you don't even know you have a mirror in the body. And up in here, when you can go through the surrender and separate the mind from the soul and get into the I am consciousness up here through the third eye, you realize that, geez, I am not that slovenly, deceitful, cannibalistic mind and ego that tried to run and rule my life through all my ups and downs here in the body consciousness. I'll be a son of a gun. I'm more than what I ever thought. Well, you see, you're starting now to piece the mirror back together, but you're barely there. The I am is maybe about this much of the mirror. All of this is still completely out of whack. And you start to, as now, you get into the astral and you put some of your mirror back together and you climb higher, you put more mirror back together. And by the time you get up here to self-realization, you've restored all the pieces of the mirror you put back together, and you've got your mirror that reflects a perfect image of your true self without any blemishes of the states of consciousness that are prevalent down below. So that's kind of the objective.